Wow, look at everybody. It's been a while since I've been in front of a large group of people like this. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Now, I apologize in advance. My jokes are pretty bad, so don't boo me out of the room, okay? So,
Denny, get the mic.
the mic, okay. Is that better?
Yes!
So, once upon a time, I used to know this elderly gentleman named Craig. Craig, he's a retired corporate lawyer. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but shortly before he passed away, he told me that he was feeling pretty lonely, and he was looking to possibly take home an animal. You know, go to the shelter, find a dog or a cat, you know, a companion, somebody he could spend time with, feed, and love, and get to know. And I said, okay, well, you know, what kind of animal are you thinking about? And he says, you know, I'd really like a bird. And I said, a bird? Okay, so are we talking about a talking bird, like a parrot? And he said, yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to have a bird to talk to. And I said, okay, well, all I can say is this: do your homework. You know, birds are a lot of fun, but they're a lot of work. And before I know it, he had just randomly gone out and bought a bird. And this bird, well, let me say, he could talk already. And he could talk a lot. And a lot of the things he said were not nice things. Bad words, swear words, and sometimes full-on complete sentences. And Craig took this bird home, and after a couple of months, he's at his wit's end with the bird because the bird won't stop swearing at him. So he tells me one day, you know what I do to teach the bird a lesson? I take him into the kitchen, I open up the freezer, and I shove him in the freezer. I leave the parrot in the freezer for, you know, just a minute, hoping it's going to teach him a lesson and maybe get him to come to his senses. I hear him squawking in there, flapping around. Well, I open the door, I feel horrible what I've done, and as soon as I go to open my mouth to apologize to the bird says the following: "Sir, I am so sorry. I will never, ever do that again." And Craig said, I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to say. So I said, good. I appreciate that. And then the bird said, I have one question. Craig said, okay, what is it? The parrot said, what did the chicken do? Not too bad, right?
Oh.
I miss Craig. He was a good guy. Always had an interesting story. So Craig and I, we were actually mutual friends with another gentleman named Louis. Louis is still with us. And Louis is quite the character. Louis told me this story once. So he was celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary. And he was at church one Sunday, and he got up in front of the whole congregation at the pastor's request. They all wanted to know the secret to his success. Everybody, man, woman, and child. They're like, 50 years, that's wonderful. How did you do it? And Louis, he said, well, I'm a romantic guy. What can I say? I like to spoil my wife. I take her out to, fancy dinners. We go on exotic vacations. On our 20th wedding anniversary, you know what I did for her? Do you know what I did for her? I took her to Italy. All expenses paid. We went to the finest restaurants. We went to museums. We went on a gondola. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And everybody's clapping. Woo! Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. So if you're that kind of guy and you did that for your 20th wedding anniversary, what on earth are you going to do for your 50th? He says, what do you think? I'm going back to Italy to get her. You're too kind. Thank you. I got one more for you, and then I'm going to let you go. Trust me, if they leave me up here with this microphone, I might go on for an hour. So, this joke, I originally heard this joke told by actor James Stewart in an interview. Everybody remember good old Jimmy Stewart? Yeah, I love James Stewart. He gave us some great movies in his time. So the joke goes like this: there's a husband and wife, and they're very much in love with each other, and they're married for 65 glorious years. 65 glorious years. And shortly towards the end of their lives together, the wife ends up becoming very sick. Very, very sick. And there's no coming back from it, unfortunately. And she starts to worry about a lot of things. She wants to put her affairs in order. And she starts saying a particular thing to her husband. And she says to him one evening at dinner, look, when that time comes for me, when I pass away, are you going to remarry? And the husband, he becomes very tearful. He says, no, I can't answer that. I don't want to even think about that. Please, stop. A few weeks pass. She's becoming more worrisome. She has to know the answer to this question. She asks her husband once more, when my time comes, are you going to remarry? And once again, the husband, he brushes it off. He says, sweetheart, I can't answer that. I don't want to. I don't want to think about this at all whatsoever. Well, a few more weeks pass, and a few more weeks pass. The wife is getting sicker now and more sick. And unfortunately, things are starting to come to an end. And she says, look, this is it. The curtains are about to close. You have to tell me. I need that peace of mind. Are you going to remarry? And the husband finally breaks down. He says, look, if it makes you feel any better, yes, I would remarry. Okay? And the wife says, no, that's far from okay. No, not at all whatsoever. I have to know, are you going to live with her in our house? He says, well, yeah, of course, she can't live out back in the doghouse. Well, okay, the wife says, are you going to let her sleep in our bed? He said, well, yeah, where else would she sleep? She says, okay, that's fine. So you remarry, she'd live in our house, she'd sleep in our bed. That's fine. I can accept all of that. But I have to know this. He says, all right, lay it on me. Would you let her use my golf clubs? The husband says, what? Your golf clubs? No, of course not. She's left-handed. Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience. Too kind. Thank you.